Hello and welcome to Mari's Garden Inspirations. In today's video I will be showing you how I'm sowing some of the seeds and how I sift the soil to make sure it's fine enough for the seeds. So first of all I'm going to show you the seeds that I'm going to be sowing. So I'm just going to take my gloves off. And these seeds, the reason I'm sowing them just now is because they need a cold spell to trigger germination. You probably have heard of this. Some seeds need a cold period of frost or very low temperatures for the seed to think, oh, I'm going through the winter, now I need to grow. So I'll start with Papa Bear Amazing Grey. This is seeds that I have left over from last year. I also have Papa Bear Somniferum White Cloud. I have Talictrum aquilegifolium. This is my own collected seed from a very nice form that I grew in previous years myself. Delphinium consolida Smoky Eyes. It's not focusing. There you go. Or larkspur. It says sow under glass autumn winter, or indoor surface sow onto moist well-drained seed compost. You just cover the seed with a sprinkle of vermiculite. And it says place in a polythene bag and pop in the fridge at 4 degrees for 3 weeks, then remove to warm for germination. Ideal temperature 15 to 18 degrees. I am not going to do that. I'm just going to put them straight outside in the open outside. And they will germinate hopefully when the temperature outside is going to be between 15 and 18 degrees. Or what I might do, I'm just going to sow them outside, because that's the kind of temperatures we have just now, about around 4 degrees, sometimes lower. Keep them outside for the next 3 weeks or so, and then take them inside to get them to germinate. So that's what my plan is. So I have that one. I also have Delphinium consolida Salmon Beauty. I never grown this before. Papa Bear Heterophyllum Copper Queen or Wind Poppy. Sow directly in autumn, spring or early summer. Surface sow onto prepared soil which has been raked. That was my cockerel. I think Lieutenant Grey. He's entertaining me. Surface sow onto prepared soil which has been raked to a fine tilt. Press into soil. Cover seed with a sprinkle of soil, grit or vermiculite. Keep moist. Germination takes 2 to 3 weeks at 16 to 20 degrees. Longer in cooler weather. So, I never sown them before. I am going to sow some of them outside. And I'll show you how I do it in module trays. I also have Papa Bear Nudicale Wind Song, which is Iceland poppies. They are best, excuse that. Apparently these Icelandic poppies are best to be sown directly where it's to flower, because it does not like to be disturbed. So that's fine. What I will do, I will be sowing them like 1 or 2 seed per cell, and then when I plant them out, I will be putting not disturbing the roots, just taking the plug out of the cell and plant them in a final position. You can sow them in autumn for flowering the following year. But I'm going to sow them now. I also have this perennial, Scabiosa caucasica, large flower mix scabious. And what else do I have here? I have more amazing grey poppies that I collected seed myself. I got Delphinium consolida Frosted Skies. I've got Papa Bear Champagne Bubbles. This is another Nudicale Papa Bear. And see how I go. An Iris and Santa that I collected seed myself. And that's it. So let's show you how I do it. I will start by filling my tray with soil. So I go multi-purpose compost. I'm sorry if this is distracting you, but that's what they do all the time. Like singing here their hearts out. So I'll take my multi-purpose compost. I want it to be very fine so it doesn't have any bits in it. Put it in my sieve. You know, if you want to know the multi-purpose compost that I use, let me see if I can show you. I get it in wicks. Turn the camera. It's that one. So it's multi-purpose compost from wicks, and that's 120 liters. Improve moisture retention, promotes superior root growth, free from green waste, and suitable for seeding. There we go. Right, I'll turn the camera back to my compost. And then there is the cell tray that I have. This one has 20. So I'll probably sow maybe 3 seeds per cell of the poppies Amazing Grey. When I plant them out, because poppies don't like to be disturbed either, I plant the whole cell, so I don't disturb the roots. But the reason I do this and don't sow direct is because I just moved into a new home and none of my soil is ready, prepared. And also, I want to control where they go. I want to position them in place where I want them to be. If you sow them, sometimes the seeds fall in the wrong place and they just don't look so nice. See these bits, all these bits that are in the compost. I just put them in a bucket. I use them for potting up plants that are not seeds. You know, they have a good strong root. The seeds, we don't want any lumps, especially for fine seeds like poppies. If you sow like peas or sweet peas and other, you know, big vegetables like courgettes or cucumber and stuff like that, you don't need to save the soil. But for very fine seeds, it's better to seed them. So that's my tray, almost full. I give it a tap to make sure it's well filled. Take some more soil from on the sides. It's not all falling inside the thingy, the tray. I do press it down because I like it to be very well, you know, I don't want to be any air pockets in it, and I want it to, for the roots to have, when they grow, to grow into a good amount of soil. So if you don't, it's very fluffy. When you water, half the tray will look empty. So I don't want that. I want them to have the cell full of soil. And then pat it down a bit. Take my glass off. Get my seeds. So here we go. We have 1 gram of seeds here apparently. Papaver Amazing Grey. And they do not need to be covered. I'll show you, the seeds are minute, very, very small. See, they are tiny seeds. It's quite a lot actually. Probably don't need to sow half of them. So then I just take a little pinch with my other hand, very small pinch, and just go and scatter on top of the soil. So that pinch did 2 cells. I'm not counting them now, okay? I don't have time to sit and count tiny seeds, but I make sure that there is 2 or 3, maybe 4 in each cell, because some of them may not germinate or may get washed off or ruined. So you just want to have more than one chance of getting something to grow, you know, in each cell. As I say, they are so small you can't see them. But believe me, there is a seed fallen into each cell, although you don't see it. Right, so that's that. I'll put the rest in the packet. I'll just put my hand like so and just gently, I'll do it over the cell in case if some fall off, they will fall onto the cell rather than on wasted in the ground, on the bit below. So I'll put it back in the packet. I still have seeds, tons of them, but I'll just do 1 tray. And then gently, I don't know if you can see here, I press them so they make good contact with the soil. So press it into the soil, but do not cover this seed because they are too small, and poppies need light to germinate. They don't really need to be covered. And then I will water them with a water spray or a very, very fine watering can. Or what you could do, which I'm going to do actually, put them into a tray full of water. I'm going to go and get a tray and I'll show you what I do. So sometimes you get seed trays like this that don't have holes in them. As you can see, there's some water in it. So you just take your seed tray and you put it with your seeds and put it in the tray and put enough water in the tray and let them soak. So that was the Papaver Amazing Grey. I'm going to do now some Icelandic poppies. I'm just looking for the right tray to sow them. Got this, which are 20 cells, and they are quite deep. Again, very good for sowing seeds in. And I'll try and find out the name and put it in a comment below because I've forgotten. I think it's Gardening Pots Direct or something, but I'm not 100% sure that's exactly what it's called. They're fairly cheap. They're a good investment if you're doing a lot of seed sowing and if you need to grow a lot of plants from seed for your own cut flower garden or any garden. I do like this because they fit really well if you don't have a greenhouse or anything like that. They fit really well on a windowsill in the house. And you know, it's for any amateur gardener. 20 plants of each variety should be more than enough. So they are a good amount. See, tap it and then I do press. Make sure the soil, there's enough soil in each cell. We don't want it to be just fluffy soil and when you water half of the tray looks empty. I want it to be really full because I want these seedlings to stay in the tray for probably until they go out in the garden. So I want them to have a good amount of soil for them to grow in. Oh, and don't forget to label. I'm very bad at not labeling things, but the poppies I don't want to label because, well, I do. Amazing Grey I need to label. I forgot to bring my pen here. It wasn't very well organized. Anyway, I'm gonna do the labeling afterwards. Hopefully I'll remember. Right, I'm going to do some, where is it? Papaver Nudicale Wind Song. These are really nice. I must look them up because I can't remember what they look like. I just remember, ooh, I thought they are so beautiful. And they last really well in a vase. They are loose in a bucket as well. So again, I just pop them into my hand. Like so. Not so many because I want to have just 1 or 2 seed per cell. And this is when your nail comes in handy. You can see if under my nail there's a few seeds. So I just take them under my nail and then drop them into the cell. So I just very gently, see, I only take 2 or 3 seeds in under my nail. You can see it looks like dirt, but it's actually seeds. Just pop them on top. Make sure your hands are dry because otherwise the seeds will stick to your hand. Put them on top. Very few seeds under your nail. So if you don't have long nails, I recommend you do let at least one to grow longer because it makes sowing seeds much easier, especially when they are minute seeds like this and you really want to be precise. Okay, so That's Papaver nudicale. So these are like Icelandic poppies, are very, very beautiful, and they do last in a vase for about, I don't know, if you pick them in bud, when the bud just starts to open, they last about 4 days, I think, and then they just bring you flowers all the time, and they're absolutely glorious. Really, really are beautiful, worth the growing. I absolutely love them. I grew them last year, and oh, they were just beautiful. Apricot color, the champagne bubble ones. Oh, this one, I can't remember what it looked like. I remember I liked it. Wind Song. Must Google. I hope they germinate as well. I know I did them really early last year as well, and I kept them outside and waited and waited for ages. So it's a waiting game with seeds, but when they do come up, it's so rewarding. So here we go. I hardly sowed half of the seeds over there. Put them back in the bucket. That gives me 20 plants hopefully, and if I'll probably do another tray, because I would like more than 20 just in case. And then again, I just don't cover the seed, although I'm sure I said on these ones you can gently cover them, does it? It doesn't say. It's not very useful, but I'm pretty sure, because they are very small, and if you press them and to make good contact with the soil, they will not need to be covered. And if you are unsure what you could do, if you're unsure if a seed needs covered or not, use perlite, this, and just go over the top. It's very light, that will allow light to go in, but it will hold, will hopefully hide some of the seeds. And again, press it in, so make sure it gets contact. And the same for this. Put them into a tray with water for them to soak water from the bottom, because the seed is so fine and so small. When you water from the top, you risk of dislocating the seed and moving them all to the edges of the tray, and sometimes even wash them off. So if you let them soak from the bottom, you avoid that situation where you can dislocate the seed and disperse them in the wrong place. You kind of want them to be in the center of the tray, not on the outsides of it. Maybe take a wee bit more light. It's very fine, some of it anyway. To make it even finer by scrunching it into my hand, like so. It's very dusty stuff anyway. So that's the Papaver nudicale Wind Song. I'll put them here to the side. I'll do another one. Another tray or something else. What else shall we do? I'll do the larkspur. So they need to be covered a little bit. Frosted sky. Will I do the frosted sky, or will I do, wait a minute, sorry, misty lavender. Oh, you have to look this one up. It's so beautiful. I did an autumn sowing of this, and they germinated really well, but unfortunately I was really busy with the house move, and there was a slug or two in. I did the sowing in the greenhouse, and the way I did the sowing is by placing the packet of seeds in the freezer for a few days, I think 3 days, because if you freeze them, that softens the outer coating of the seed and they germinate really quick. So then I sowed them as you do normally into the garden, and they thought they went through a winter frost and they germinated really well. But as I said, they germinated, and then the slugs, I think I only have 3 or 4 plants left. The rest are all eaten by slugs. So that's why I'm doing another sowing now. And hopefully this time I'll be here, I'll have more time to look after them and I won't be losing them. And I'm so glad I didn't sow them all at once, because then I would have lost them all, and that would have been a disaster. So again with these ones, because their seeds are quite big, I will station sow them. Just take one seed under your nail, bigger nail. I cut my nails the other day. Not a good idea when you need to sow seeds. But just if you have long nails, they're very useful. You can use them like shovels. So again, just one seed. I will do just one seed per cell, because these are precious seeds, and we want to have strong plants, so we don't want them to compete with each other. I love larkspur. Again, they just flower for such a long time, and they are very good for flower arranging. A great plant to grow if you like to have posies in the house, because they just keep giving. The more you pick, the more flowers they produce. So they are great plant. That's that. So that was misty lavender. Still have some seeds left. I must look to see what the viability is, because if they are not viable for very long, I think I need to sow them all. I don't have vermiculite, so I'm just going to use perlite, because it's the same thing. Vermiculite apparently holds into moisture more. But perlite just covers the seed enough. You could just use fine compost. It's not necessary to use this, really. Again, the larkspur, because it's a bigger seed, you can't cover it more than what the pop is. As I said, you can't just use soil. Don't worry about it too much with them. So that's larkspur. I will do now Scabiosa caucasica large flower mixed. So it says to sow indoors into moist, well-drained seed compost, propagate 18 to 21 degrees. So I'm going to sow them and then take them inside. And then germination takes 2 to 3 weeks. And then you transplant seedlings once large enough to handle to 8 centimeter pots and grow on at 10 degrees. So I'm going to sow them in these cells again, because that way I don't need to transplant. They can grow on this. And then once they germinate indoors and they start to show 1 or 2 leaves, I will put them outside, because I know hardy perennials can't withstand temperature lower than 10 degrees. If I see there is a very cold night, I'll keep an eye on the weather. Then I will I can take them inside with a tray. As I say, these trays fit really well on a windowsill. So you can just take them inside your utility room or somewhere just for the night, I mean. And then during the day you can put them back outside. We want them to grow slow and strong roots, rather than grow really fast and leggy inside at very high temperatures, because that way they grow really kind of weak plants rather than strong. So I could have done this in a milk bottles, like you do with you know, if you see my other videos with the milk bottles, the mini greenhouses. But I haven't got any prepared, and I just want to get some seeds in the ground today. And it's quite a nice day outside, sunny, and yeah, just needed to get my hands dirty for a bit. So these seeds are quite big, so I'll just put 1 seed per cell. And then I am going to do, I have a spare bedroom and I have an empty bedroom wardrobe in there. I'm just going to put them in the wardrobe until they germinate. That spare bedroom is around 18 to 20 degrees anyway, and I have other seeds in there, like I started my onions and my sweet peppers and chili peppers. They are in that room at the moment, so this can just go and join them. And I also have my sweet peas that I sprouted on paper towel. They are in that bedroom at the moment. But once the sweet peas are growing above ground and they're showing like, I don't know, maybe about 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters above ground, I will put them outside because I want them to grow strong roots and be strong plants. So you know what, I'm going to put 2 per cell, just because this, I can separate them when I plant them into, pot them on into a bigger pot, just because I want to sow them all rather than just have some seeds left. And I know with these seeds they don't mind being separated and pricked on, like they're not as fussy as poppies are. Poppies are really fragile when they are a seeding stage. You just do not like being disturbed. So that's the pocket empty, and you just cover them with fine bit of soil, like so. So they can stay in that bedroom until they start to have a good strong root, not root, growth on top. I will probably put them out in about 3 weeks time or so, depending how long they take to germinate. They take to germinate 2 to 3 weeks, so probably in about 6 weeks time I'll be putting them out or something like that. But maybe we'll see. I will try my best to make a video to show you when I put them out and what I do with them once they're out and where they go and that kind of stuff. So I still have quite a lot of seeds to sow, so I will carry on doing the same thing as I showed you, sowing them. And that's me for today. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please click like, and that shows me that you like watching these kind of videos, and I know I could make more and show you more of what I do. Also, please subscribe to my page and hit the bell button, and then when I post a new video, you'll get a notification, and you can watch and see what I've been up to. So thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.